Hello guys, let's continue our presentation. Well, one thing I wanted to show you, continuing our demonstration, which I should have shown in our first video, are some layout details that are important for us to note between native NIGI applications and hardcore applications. Okay, so what is it? That I'm trying to talk about. I'm going to take that our UNIGUI application such and I'm going to now here increase the height of these components such and such. I'm going to put this with 38 pixels, which is the standard that we use, right, to work with the idea of the layout for mobile and desktops. So what are we going to do? I'm going to run this application and let's give it our refresh. So notice what happened with the arrow of my combo box and with the icon of my datetime picker. This one broke, using a term. Well, it broke, and this one here, the little arrow, was at the top. Okay, so what happened with these components that we observed in our first video is that they don't happen in hardcore. That's right, so in hardcore, these components are just the way it should be. Unfortunately, it's not in the only standard, and then I have to resort to internal adjustments to be able to align these components. So I don't mean to denigrate the image of our onigiri, no. I'm just trying to show that the work you're going to have to do to tweak these components in every application you create, you don't have that with hardcore, because hardcore is already going to bring, by default, that visual benefit. Beauty. So, let's continue so we can talk a little more here about responsive blocks. Well, I'm going to open up our hardcore app here. We had added these three components here. I'm going to delete these three components and I'm going to trigger my RC elements to demonstrate how to add components at runtime. So what I'm going to do here, I've got here in my components area, my edits are examples of various components, the basic, traditional components that already come here available on the screen. So for example, I have right here a set of edit. I'm going to give an OK, sorry, I'm going to click and I'm going to give an OK. So hardcore goes oh and adds for me there the my block is right is now. Imagine that you want to add is three more components in the sequence of what you did and so yes, you don't need to take one and the other, one and the other, one and the other, you can even do it, but the hardcore will get you, will you? Help with that from Hero select menu such I'm going to select and then I'm going to grab now one, I'm going to grab a datetime picker, I'm going to grab a combo box and I'm going to grab Hero a formatted number edit. So I selected 3 and I'm going to give OK, the hardcore goes and adds. For us, the sequence of the three groups of components that we created. Okay, so once again here people, it's remembering our what did he do here? Oh, he created blocks with 3 columns, only now I have 4 sets, so 4 times 3 I'm going to have here 12 columns being occupied. So, let's see here how it turned out. Right, how did these components turn out? Right, so now here are my components, okay, all aligned and occupying the 12 columns of my grid system, okay. Let's talk a little bit more. Let's add here now the following situation. Imagine you want to add 3 more edits, so I'm going to grab here 1, 2, 3, I'm going to select my edit and I'm going to give it OK, so it's going to add it for me here. I've selected 3 blocks with edit component. Okay, let's see what it looks like from here now in responsiveness. Well, so since I've got my 4 columns here, occupied, right, 4 times 3, the next sequence has already dropped over here. Okay, let's fine-tune here in our responsiveness. I selected the 3 and I'm going to change this one from here to 4. I'm going to compile my project again and we're going to do a refresh here. So look how the layout of the blocks turned out, because at the top each one is occupying 4 virtual columns and down here each one is occupying 3 virtual columns. But see guys, how beautiful the alignment of the components is, the arrangement of the components on screen. You don't have to worry about project time anymore. To adjust these components, okay, everything will be aligned at runtime. Okay, well, so we saw here some more steps. Of block construction. Okay, so in addition to that, from here, we can also use it in the RadCORE project of composite components. Okay, so this here comes to give you some more idea of a resource that you can create. Imagine that you want to create a kind of a dashboard, okay, that you're going to have a filter. Okay, so I'm going to take here a standard component that is a sample such it already puts for me a whole structure ready for you to link there with a query. You come here in your button, activate here the click that opens your query, make the your search based on the content of the edit or the content of the filters. I can remove one of these blocks here in case you want to, so here's a suggested use. And then I'm going to take it down here, just so we can also complement it. I'm going to put a sequence here as if to give an initial idea, obviously, of building a dashboard, right? Composed and further down, I'm going to take here one more composite component and I'm going to put it here, as being such an idea, of a visual element for assembly, here, of a food order, for example. Okay, so they're ideas, okay, people are ideas. That you can use here in a RadCORE and such to build your screens, and then I can take my events here and set it up. Okay, so you're going to have models in various ways. Let's then compile and let's take a look here at the final result of the RadCORE. So there's my search block. My initial dashboard template was rendered with rounded edges. Okay, my main visual component is also here. Okay, and everything is responsive. Okay, that's the main point here of our project, is to show how it works. This responsiveness here from RadCORE. Okay, so we have this initial vision, it's about our project, okay, and how we get the responsiveness features of RadCORE. Beauty. In the next video, we're going to continue and we're going to talk a little bit more about layout. See you soon.